So while all of you were panicking about the nerfed Sunder Charms due to the penalty 1/5 bonus coming back for conviction, all of you were completely overlooking the surgical and the critical update that was not explicitly called out in the patch notes. And there's 3 things that you need to walk away from in this video today, and the first of which is there are 286 new lines that were updated to the TCX table covering Terror Zone specifically. This took the form of the new Desecrated treasure class groupings, which covers super uniques, bosses, and champions. This is critical because bosses are now having improved drop rates, and not only will they get the benefit of monster level scaling from TZs, but they are actually going to have upgraded and adjusted treasure classes. Lastly, we are seeing that Sunder Charms now have a carve-out specific TC, which houses only the 1 through 6 options of those Sunder Charms. It is not rolling with Geeds or other items, so it is a very clean TC, but this has a very specific byproduct and effect, which we're going to showcase thanks to Shadow doing a quick modded simulation to unfortunately demonstrate how Blizzard has quite literally now broken the game with this quiet patch update ahead of Season 2, as Sunder Charms quite literally drop at will, and we need to see this immediately fixed. Let's walk through and demonstrate one of the new Desecrated treasure classes, and in this case, Griswold. A huge shout out and thank you to Shadow, my partner in crime, who spent a lot of time this afternoon breaking this down and contributing the notes for this video. So when you look at Griswold H Desecrated A, you can see the grouping and the treasure class values, but what's important here to call out on this screen is that it's the -4 picks to focus on. So for those that don't know, what the -4 pick means is that it is guaranteed to pick an item from any of the treasure class tables that are included. And in this case, under the Desecrated A for Griswold, you have 3 different item tables that are rolling. You have 1 pick from Sundered, 1 from Act 4H U Item B, and you have 2 picks from Act 4H Melee B. So ultimately what this translates to in layman is that as you are killing Griswold in a Hell Terror Zone situation, he is quite literally guaranteed to pick one of the 6 item rolls from the Sunder TC. We talked about on the earlier screen that Sunder has its own carve-out TC that is embedded in the Desecrated groups, and because the only thing included in the Sunder TC is just the Sunder Charms, there's no junk, Geeds, or other items, that's why you are ultimately cascading through the rolls of the different Sundered and guaranteed to roll one. Now, those that know in the game of Diablo, champions and uniques are always guaranteed to drop items, and this is why I don't know if this was truly an intentional or an unintended change with what they pushed out today, but they have to definitively fix this. You are going to see momentarily in this video how quite literally batshit crazy it is right now live in the wild on 2.5, as you are guaranteed again to always get a Sundered and GC drop from all of these different custom Desecrated groups that rolled out. The other thing to highlight here in this game data is that there is the group level upgrading. And so, of course, as your character level and monster level scales, here are all the different Desecrated options for Griswold over time. So in a perfect example, if I'm 85, I get a +5 benefit modifier of a TZ in Hell, which would peg us at the Griswold H Desecrated B or level 90 table. And so this gives you an understanding, again, that I called out in the beginning of how beneficial all of these improved drop tables and rates are across bosses, super uniques, champs, and so on. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video so we can actively demonstrate and simulate what's actually going on with these new changes they pushed out. Because we can't actively simulate Terror Zone conditions offline exactly, what we did here is we set the area level to 85 in Tristram, and we adjusted all champs, uniques, and super uniques to drop from their Desecrated TC via modded. And what you are quickly seeing here on screen is that upon killing the first 2 champions, you already have a Sunder Charm guaranteed drop per each champion, or in this case 2. And as Shadow navigates over to a unique with a minion pack and Griswold, you are going to once again see a 3rd and a 4th Sunder Charm drop. This is clearly not the expected behavior. I can't imagine that Blizzard intended to do this, but based on the no drop and the guaranteed -4 picks, this is the current active mechanical behavior of what is currently pushed in 2.5, and that is and should be generally testable. So in summary, with this patch, we saw 286 new TCX lines that were created because of the different new Desecrated TC groupings, in addition to the Sunder TC that is embedded within the Desecrated groups. And ultimately, what we are then expecting to see on Thursday when Season 2 launches is that we're going to see a lot of Sunder drops in the wild when folks start hitting 75, killing Hail Bale, and start attacking these TZs. So I hope Blizzard changes this, because this could not have been the intended change. Sanctuary, you made it. Thanks for tuning in. Before you go, smash that like and subscribe button to continue supporting content development on my channel. If you want to join the Horde and I the next time I broadcast live on Twitch, feel free to drop a follow linked below. Stay safe, keep grinding, and see Vis Pacem Parabellum. If you want peace, prepare for war theory.